Welcome to episode 162 of the official Gamestitch podcast. I'm Ryan Walton, and today, I'm joined by Matt Bowden. What up? Hello.
Hey, what up?
Is that all you had?
Yeah, it's Valentine's Day. I gotta save my energy.
Okay.
You know.
I mean, I wouldn't say you were conserving energy right there. I thought you went pretty hard and heavy.
No, dude, that was like a kind of a half. I could have gone so much longer.
Is that your go-to phrase?
Yeah.
When something like this happens, where you go a little quicker than people thought you would?
Right. Like normally it doesn't happen like
this
that.
This never happens to me.
Never.
This is literally the first time. And blame yourself for being so dang awesome.
Yeah.
That I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
You know, you want to get the podcast started.
I mean, you should have made it feel so good.
Yeah, don't move. Because this is episode 162. How does it feel to do a Lover's Day podcast?
Is this the first time we've ever done Valentine's Day?
I can't confirm.
It can't be because I don't know. Yeah, because no, that's not right. Valentine's Day it's not always on a Sunday. It's always just on the 14th.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think this might be the first ever Valentine's Day podcast we've done.
I mean, we can treat it like it is, even if you go back to last year and we did one exactly the same.
Yeah, but why?
We don't know, so we can treat it like it's the first.
Right. I can tell you this, it won't be Valentine's Day themed. It just happens to be on
Man, I was
Valentine's
fixing to
Day.
lie and say we prepared a special Valentine's themed show. I was just going to throw like a extra line or two in each news story.
Right.
That wasn't true.
Right.
But you ruined that.
Can't help it. So what was your week like?
I mean, it was like mostly Monday through Friday with a little Saturday because I worked yesterday.
Right.
A side dish of Saturday.
Yesterday was a hell of a work day for both of us, I think, because I didn't do anything
Be careful with what we say about me here.
I didn't do anything.
I like the illusion of hard work.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to pull the curtain back on that.
Right.
So I hit it hard yesterday. I worked very consistently for 8 hours and 10 minutes because I'm not a clock watcher.
Right.
Don't worry about the 10 minutes. It's on me.
You don't clock out on the second. It looks too suspicious.
Yeah, you clock out at goofy times. You're like 8:06. No one was watching a clock.
Yeah.
I'll tell you where that doesn't work is in the morning.
Yeah.
When you're like,
you clock in at 8:06, they're like, "Well, you not watching the clock? What's going on?"
Right. And you're like, make your mind up, employer.
Right.
Watch it or don't watch it.
You want me to be concerned? You want me to come in here just to work and not worry about what the clock says?
Right.
What is it?
Because I'm a people person.
I deal with the goddamn customers, so the engineers don't have to.
I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what we all do.
Yeah.
So I worked hard yesterday. Just to recap what happened yesterday. As far as my week's concerned, I picked up Firewatch. I've not started playing that yet. I know Dan's playing it too. We'll probably have a semi-discussion next week.
Mm-hmm.
As not to spoil that game, we'll probably just talk about how much we did or did not like it.
Right.
And I also picked up Unravel. This is one I've been excited for. Features a main character called Yarny, who's super adorable. Just want to hug him and squeeze him.
It's a good ass looking game. I don't know that I'll ever play it.
Yeah, graphically it looks great. It's doing something special in the memories department, which we may touch on later. It's the gameplay, not breaking down any barriers, not anything that's unfamiliar when you play a game like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's the star of the game. I don't think they ever set out to have this innovative gameplay that changes industries. And, you know, it's a fun platformer.
Right.
They'll call it a puzzle platformer. There are puzzles. There's times where you have absolutely no idea what you're supposed to do. But it's not. I don't know. That game's special, but not because of the gameplay.
To me, Firewatch looks really good, but that's another one that I don't see me wanting to play it. Just because I know that once I play it, I'll never need to play it again.
Sure, it's very much a Gone Home, a Journey.
Which is, because right now on PlayStation Plus it's $17.99.
Right.
So that's a pretty good price for that game.
It's wild.
But I just,
And I give Sony a little credit. I assume Sony. I don't, who knows who works these deals out. But I don't think I buy that game if it's $20. Not yet.
Right, with $2 off and you're in.
Because I was going to play Unravel first, and then I was like, I'll just get Firewatch in a couple weeks or so. But when I got on and it was $17, I went ahead and, I pulled the trigger. I felt like I had to.
Maybe that's the kind of game that I need to get back into, wanting to play games on a regular basis. Because right now, I'm done.
Right.
Like, I haven't touched a game this week.
A game.
At all.
None.
Not one. I played Game Dev Story on my phone for about 5 minutes and went, why?
That game's real good.
Shit. Yeah, it seems like it's fun. My interest level in gaming has taken a very steep nosedive.
Yeah, I think you just need that gateway game to get you back in.
What happened was it was sensory overload at Christmas. It was Metal Gear, Batman, and Fallout, and Transformers, and this and that and the other, and I had all these games, and I tried to play them all at once, and I finished none of them, and now I don't want to go back and finish them, and I don't want to play anything else because I feel guilty for not finishing those games. I don't know.
I think we've all been there. We all get to those points where we're like, there's either too much or not enough to play, and we get overwhelmed.
Right, but I just want to be whelmed. I
think you just have to dip your toes back in, pick a starting point, and get back in, and see if your time to come back from this dark void in your life.
Maybe Firewatch is the game.
Maybe.
Who knows? It looks good. You know what I like about Firewatch is the dialogue. Like from what I see of that game, it's the character interaction seems really cool. But what I don't want to do is get in there and find out that it's so linear that I might as well watch a cutscene, or find out that it's so loose that there's too much for me to do and not enough focus on the task at hand.
I don't know. I haven't started it to know. I hope it falls somewhere in the middle. But, I don't know.
Transformers Devastation really was kind of satisfying in that regard, because it was, here's the goal and here's what you're going to do in between here and there, but, there's not too much to worry about otherwise.
Can you not use that to get back in?
I tried, man. I tried. I really want to play it. I love Transformers just like the next guy, but I don't know, man. Turning it on just doesn't work for me.
Well, maybe you should try
quote
this.
unquote point of video games isn't there right now.
Maybe you should try this next title that I picked up.
All right, I'm not gonna play this.
Farming Simulator 2016 for the PlayStation Vita.
Stupid.
Maybe you've heard of the Vita, Sony's handheld.
Yeah,
it's a PlayStation in your pocket.
Right. Sounds fun to play at work.
I wouldn't know, because I work hard.
Right. Play games at
But
work.
if I was going to play at work, I feel like Farming Simulator 2016 would be the perfect game to play, because it's a time suck, and sometimes you just want to suck a bunch of time.
That sounds unbearable to me. That I don't enjoy that kind of game.
Yeah, that's a real good game, and it's different from its big brother counterpart on the PS4, Farming Simulator 2015. Not to be confused. It's a whole new game, and I'm a couple hours in. I really like it.
Right.
I'm really happy with it. You are your lowest gaming point, where I may be at my highest.
Right.
I'm taking in probably 15 to 20 hours a week in games.
My goodness.
It's insane the amount I'm playing right now. And it's like nonstop everything. I'm touching all consoles. I even had the Wii U on. played some Mario Maker because I've just been playing the Yoshis, but this week I played some Mario also. Like, I'm everywhere. Still chipping away at Tomb Raider.
Tom Raider.
Mm-hmm. Still playing that. And, of course, all over the PS4 and the Vita. I just ordered a Harvest Moon for 3DS. I'm just everywhere right now.
Sounds like you're having a good time.
Yeah. I'm like a small child right now.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been this excited to, like, and nothing changed. It's just like what I want to do.
Just stoked about games.
Yeah, every game, even like the shitty ones. I'm like, all right. I downloaded. So, Gold Rush, one of my favorite shows.
Right.
Comes on Discovery Channel. They find gold in the Klondike. So I'm like, how good would a Gold Rush game be where I could set up my mining community, my compound, buy new equipment, open up new land? Like, this sounds like my kind of game.
Right.
So I rush to the App Store. Get in my car, I drive to the App Store.
Is there a game?
So there's only one I see. And it's called Gold Rush.
Gold Rush, the game based on the TV show?
No. They're not related. It's called Gold Rush. And I'm like, this is it. It's got to be. It's got a guy on the front wearing a hard hat. There's equipment behind him, heavy machinery. Mm-hmm. This is probably my game. So I download it. And I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Someone worked hard on this, probably. You just tap.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You tap.
Right.
Nothing's doing anything. There's no movement. It's a static image that you tap.
Oh, no.
So when you start, you just have a couple, like, fifth-wheel trailers, and you tap them until you get enough money to buy a water pump. And then you tap that until you get enough money to buy 2 water pumps, and then you tap them.
That sounds absolutely terrible.
Until you get enough money to buy a generator, and then you tap that.
Right.
But nothing's moving, nothing's happening. I bought a new piece of land. I played this for too long. I bought a new piece of land to put new things on to tap.
Right.
This is the only Gold Rush game out there. So if there's any developers that listen to this podcast, take the idea. I'm never going to do it. And make it for me.
But watch out for that copyright claim.
But yeah, don't call it Gold Rush. This guy got away with it because the game is obviously not tied to the show in any way.
Right.
Like, it's pretty clear from the second you open it up. You're like, okay, all right. Something different, but I'll try it.
Right, he's just trying to get guys like you.
What I want is just a good old-fashioned any game that exists that is like a resource management. That's all I want. Buy new equipment. It earns me more gold, buy more equipment. That's all I wanted.
Right.
Just like any of those other games, just like the Simpsons Tapped Out, the Clash of Clans without the fighting. Any of those would have been fine.
None of those sound good.
They're all good. But this doesn't exist, so there's an empty hole in my heart. But my point is, I'm so into gaming, I played that for about an hour and a half.
Jeez. Just desperate for a Gold Rush game.
I don't know. It's like I'm silver lining on everything right now.
Dude, you know what the solution is? Just make your own game.
You know that I'm not qualified enough or dedicated enough.
I mean, that's my solution. I'm gonna try to make my own game. I'm not qualified enough. Dedication. We both know that I'm not there.
To me, and this is just to me, that sounded like a segue.
Yeah.
Story number 1.
Woo!
Beautiful, beautiful segue.
Right, you like that?
And I don't mean the ones you ride on.
Not that those aren't cool, and not that I wouldn't jump on one in a minute.
Yeah. What about let's pause the news for a second.
Already.
What about a skit?
What's that?
A live action skit. Where we're talking. I'm about to bring something up, and I'm like, nice segue, and it cuts back to you, and you're standing on one.
Hey, that's way better than Shredder.
Don't give away the other one. It's too good.
No, I like that one better than
too
Shredder.
good. I got some real gems. If I ever get like a 3-minute variety show,
you're gonna have all the material.
I can do one episode. Yeah,
right.
I can confirm one episode worth of content in my head.
Right.
Because one of them is going to be it's going to reoccur. So I think I can stretch it to the 3. Don't steal that idea. Make the Gold Rush game. Leave the Segway idea alone. Because I feel pretty good about it.
It'll be on Robot Chicken next week.
I'll break a TV. I'll throw a Wiimote through a TV.
You know they tune in.
Why wouldn't they? And if you're tuning in, be sure to rate us on iTunes. Helps us out. Helps people like Robot Chicken listen to this podcast. I'm sure. Like higher ratings, right? You like those things.
Right. I mean, we're in Nashville. They're in Atlanta.
That's practically next door neighbors.
Yeah.
You know, if you're looking at... Let me tell you how important the ratings are.
Okay.
If you're looking at two things on Amazon, 2 products, can't make your mind up, almost identical, same price.
Right.
Both fulfilled by Amazon, so there's nothing shady going on.
Mm-hmm.
One has a 3-star rating, one has a 5. Assuming they're all legitimate reviews, you're popping on that 5-star.
Yeah.
If you're torn between and there was no other factor.
Yeah, I pop on a 5-star no matter what.
So, if there's 2 podcasts side by side and you guys didn't take the time to rate us, they might get the one that's not as good. So just think about that.
They might get the better one also, though.
I mean, I assume you mean if they get us.
I mean, they just, you know what I mean.
You're saying we're the best podcast in the world. That's what it's sounding like.
We're the best topical podcast, I think. The best topical, the best video games podcast that's not about video games, that's us.
It features 2 guys, both with beards, living 45 minutes apart.
Not talking about anything on the podcast schedule for the day.
What if we did a show where I pulled all this news and we never did any of the stories?
It'd be just like every week.
You're right. Story number 1. This segue is going to make more sense when I finally read it. I know people are waiting. I'm building suspense still.
All right.
Okay.
Still?
Yeah, that was the last one.
Okay.
Or was it?
God damn it.
Story number 1. Amazon announces its own game engine with built-in Twitch support. It's called Lumberyard. First off, I like the name.
Yeah, it's a pretty good name.
Also, their page has little, like, maybe muskrats, squirrels, varmints.
Some kind of lumber rodent.
You think maybe beavers?
Nah.
They love the lumber. Anyways, they've got hard hats on and tools in their hand, which I like. I like an animal with a tool in its hand.
Right.
An animal that can get a job done, not just one of the lazy ones that hangs out. I'm not going to bore everybody with the deets, but basically this is Amazon's answer to Unity or to Unreal or to any of those engines that are available for the masses.
Right.
You're working on your own game right now.
Yeah.
Does this excite you?
I wish it did. When I first heard about it, I got excited because I checked into it, and the big deal with this game engine is that it's supposed to be completely free no matter what. There's no paying anything. Anybody that wants to get into the details or go read about it, you'll find plenty of information out there on it. But for me, I'm trying to make a pixel art side-scrolling platformer, and Lumberyard doesn't support orthographic, which is what you need for a side-scrolling platformer. It looks a little bit more multiplayer-based, so it's just not in the right vein for me, and that's fine. Nothing against the game engine. It's just not it's just not a tool that I need, Mm-hmm. But I guess it looks as cool as any game engine does. It's got some really cool plans for new development teams of how to kind I don't want to say finance your game, but like you kind of only, it's like a la carte, like you pay for the parts that you need, which is really cool. And I haven't seen a lot of that anywhere else. A lot of things you pay for an all-out license or you don't. And Lumberyard has a really cool, like, well, if you only need Twitch support, then just pay for Twitch support. If you only need some kind of multiplayer service, just pay for that. If you don't need any of it and you just want to make a single player experience, don't pay for anything. Which their free is very quote unquote free.
Yeah, there's some mixed signals on the website.
Yeah, it's not very clear. I think it's probably one of those things that once you get into bed with Lumberyard, it's clearer. But that, from what I've seen, it doesn't look like it's a slighted game engine. It looks like it's completely capable.
Yeah, so I watched probably 6 tutorial videos yesterday. It seems like a lot of the tools that you would want to be there are there, and that's pretty. I mean, it just launched, so
yeah. I mean, you can't put out a game engine to compete with Unity and Unreal, and have it not feature the things that Unity and Unreal has.
Yeah, and I don't think they have. I think they have a very decent competitor. It's going to take people a little while to figure out how to use it, I think. Not that it's that different, but just that I think there are different things, even Unity to Unreal, they're just tips and tricks and things that you learn to use.
Yeah, maybe not in development. I think maybe like a different, like figuring out how to use the engine in terms of like what do you need for your game. I think maybe a little bit more specific to Lumberyard. Like you could pick up any 3 of them and make a single player game. But why do you need to pick up Lumberyard over Unreal?
Right.
Well, it's because I want to make like a multiplayer only, like every time you log on, it's multiplayer only. It's leaderboards based, with a kind of like an MLG style game that anybody can log on to and spectate from Twitch. Well, Lumberyard's your engine because it's all built in, and you just pay for those features as you need them. You want to build a side-scrolling platformer? Maybe you go with Unity. You want to build a graphical powerhouse of a game, you go with Unreal. They all have their own things.
It does have the built-in Twitch support, which I think will, maybe not now, but in the future, allow for some pretty cool things.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's got a place in the market for sure.
Yeah.
Or they wouldn't have, number one, they wouldn't have made it if it didn't. But number two, you look at a game like Rocket League, that's a game that had Lumberyard existed when they were making it, would have been made on Lumberyard.
Right. Well, if you want to know more about Lumberyard, simply head over to Amazon. I think it's aws.lumberyard.com. .amazon.com. I probably should have wrote that down.
Probably.
Just simply Google Amazon Lumberyard. Now, let me tell you a fun fact. Sometimes when you're trying to text Lumberyard, it makes it Lumberjack.
Which is cool.
Which is not wrong. But when I tried to tell you about it first when I was excited, I got fat-fingered.
Right.
And my phone thought I was telling you about a lumberjack.
Now, what do you think about, just to back up, the name Lumberyard?
I like it.
I know you like it, but is it a little confusing?
No, I don't think so, because you go to build stuff there. You get stuff. You get the things to build stuff from a lumberyard.
Makes sense. I get it. Okay, never mind.
And they didn't want to call it Amazon the Home Depot.
Amazon Depot. Hey, that's a good name. That's that'll be my engine that I put out whenever I learn how to...
You're going to get sued twice.
Yeah.
But maybe more. Office Depot, Home Depot, the department.
What's the department?
Isn't it a shoe store? Department shoes.
I thought it was a game. The Tom Clancy game. That's the division.
The department. That's different.
Yeah. That crappy Destiny ripoff that came out.
What about the compartment? Where you're just in a fixed space, like maybe a glove box. You're small.
Okay.
You're small because a human won't fit.
Right.
Think Ant-Man without being Ant-Man because we can't pay the license.
Right. Be ant person.
A tiny guy, we'll call him.
Right.
Well, you can do it on Amazon Lumberyard. You don't like the name, I guess, since you brought that up.
I don't know. I like Unreal and Unity. I think those names are pretty cool for game engines. I like Game Maker. I think that's probably the best one I've heard.
If you go back, though, at some point, I guarantee someone's like, what's Unreal about it? Don't knock
Yeah.
Lumberyard yet. Give it time.
I'm not. If it suited my needs, I would be more likely to use it based on their licensing terms, but just don't need it
All right. Story number 1 in the books.
in the books.
You need to take a short break, or can we move on to 2?
No, I'm good, man.
Because the next one we're going to spend some time on.
Are we?
It's full of details.
I feel like this is a 2-minute story.
New Call of Duty confirmed for 2016.
And that's it.
It's
Over.
coming from Infinity Ward.
What else is there to talk about?
I'm going to hit you with some of these non-detailed details.
All right.
We don't have a date. All we know is it's coming holiday.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. Second thing, it's being made by Infinity Ward because we know that Call of Duty's on a 3-year cycle
Right.
with Treyarch and Sledgehammer Games.
Right.
Anything you'd like to add?
Is this a surprise to anybody?
I mean, I didn't see it coming.
Really? You didn't see a yearly installment of Call of Duty coming out?
Look, here's the thing. I'm not mad at Activision for this. They fucking sell like hotcakes.
Yeah, they do. But
The community loves it, can't get enough of it. You're doing it for the community.
no, I get that. But Call of Duty is not news anymore. Call of Duty hasn't been news.
This
for
is
like
a hard-hitting
decade.
story.
For who?
I don't know.
Exactly.
But someone out there, write in podcast@gamestitch.com and let us know how this story made you feel.
Right. Tell me how pumped you are about another Call of Duty, so that you can put on your bookshelf of nothing but Call of Duty.
All right, we're going to assume this is a new Call of Duty.
What do you think's going to be new about it?
No.
Shoot guns?
Listen, I'm going somewhere with this.
All right.
A new Call of Duty. Not Ghosts. Not Advanced Warfare. Not Blops.
Blops.
What do you call it? Give it a name. I want you to take some time and put some real thought into this.
Maybe they do the thing that I've said that companies should be doing all along, and they just take it back to its roots and they just call it Call of Duty,
Okay.
and that's it.
So you want to just call it Call of Duty?
Most things that come out, I just want to call them the thing that they are at this point. It's kind of like with movie sequels. There's a point where you stop calling it like Fast and Furious 7, and then you just call it Fast and Furious, and then you just call it Furious, and then Fast 5. You stop giving it the full title, and you just change the title, and people still know what series it's part of.
I'm calling it COD. I'm dropping the Call of Duty. I'm just calling it COD.
Okay.
Tactical shooter.
Well, that's very on the nose.
Yeah. I'm doing the same thing, but keeping it fresh.
Right.
So it's COD.
Of Duty.
No, that's Call of Duty.
Yeah, COD of Duty.
COD, tactical shooter. Or is COD tactical first-person shooter?
Okay.
That seems long.
Well, you're naming it.
Yeah, COD. And we put a picture of a dead fish on the front.
All right.
It's a play on words.
Is it?
Yeah. So that's story number 2. We're breezing through them.
Great.
Xbox fans, you can finally let your hair down. Take that deep breath. Rocket League's coming February 17th.
Finally.
Just letting that soak in. Suck it up like a sponge. Absorb that. February 17th, $19.99. And you're going to get all of the DLC packs that have come out for PlayStation 4 and PC. So the DLC packs are what you're going to get. Supersonic Fury, Chaos Run, and Revenge of the Battle Cars. Those are all coming free with the $20 version.
That's a little pissy.
Yeah, it's a little bit. You're also going to get 2 exclusive cars. The Armadillo from Gears of War and the Warthog variant from Halo, dubbed the Hog Sticker. In addition, there are Xbox exclusive garage items like Fizzy and the Overcharged Rocket Trail from Sunset Overdrive. So it's cool they're doing some console-specific stuff. I'll tell you why I'm a little irritated is because the only thing we got was Twisted Metal's very own Sweet Tooth.
Right.
That's the only exclusive we got. I'm waiting for Axel still.
Are we supposed to get Axel?
No. But he would be sweet.
Is he your favorite?
He's got a really good design.
Just because he is the Axel.
Exactly. I like stuff that's on point.
Right. That leaves no room for speculation.
The only thing that would have made it better if his last name was Rod. Because I think Axel Rod's a good name.
Maybe. I've got no opinion on that one.
What about Twisted Metal?
I hate those games.
Can it not be fixed?
I don't think that anything that David Jaffe does is for me.
Yeah, but
it's just not for me.
But can it be fixed, though? Can they bring that back?
I don't think it needs to be fixed. I think the last Twisted Metal that came out was exactly what it was supposed to be. I think those games just aren't for me.
Yeah.
His market is his audience is a different person than I am.
What about Calling All Cars? You ever play that one?
No.
Not like a Jaffe game.
The last game that Jaffe made that I thought was for me was God of War.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. I think did he just direct that, or was that his baby?
A little bit of both, I think, maybe.
Yeah, God of War was fantastic.
Man, Kratos is so angry.
Yeah, they beat that one into the ground a little bit.
Yeah,
too
his
much.
story's done. February 17th, 1999. It does get you all DLC packs. I paid for those DLC packs. They're only like $3 each, and I guess that's the price you pay for having the game almost a year early, or 8 months early, whatever it is.
Well, you got the game for free on PlayStation Plus.
But plenty of people have paid for the game and bought those DLC packs, though.
Yeah, but you said yourself, and as much as you guys talk about this game, you said yourself that you would throw money at Psyonix for as long as you
I'm not mad about it, but I can see how there are going to be people who did pay for the game, who did buy the DLC, who are going to feel a little slighted right now.
Yeah, probably.
But I also understand they've got to catch up that cycle. So now everything they release, they can release on both. Everything's caught up. Because it'd be weird for them to start putting the DLC out delayed also.
Yeah, that would be weird. You just got to put it all out at once.
Right. Now, I don't know if the DeLorean, the Back to the Future DeLorean, is going to be available. I assume so. I don't see anything telling me that, though.
That'd be pretty cool if that was a PS exclusive.
Yeah, that's my car of choice. I like it because it's got a very flat hood.
And it goes back in time.
Yeah, it does.
And then Back to the Future from there.
Sometimes it goes back to the future. Like it's been there before.
Yeah.
And it goes back.
Yeah.
Like back to the future.
Like Back to the Future 2?
Yeah, you could say it. TOO?
Yeah, they go Back to the Future.
Also?
They go back to the future there.
Back to the Future also.
Yeah.
That's what they should have called that movie.
I guess.
Or Back to the Future Again.
Maybe, I don't know.
Back from the Future, Back to the Future?
Back from the Future would be a good one. Because Back to the Future, they go into the past, and the whole point is to get back to the future, right? In the second movie, they go to the future, and the whole point is to get back from the future. See, this is one of those prime example of you change the name and you get the same thing but a little bit different.
Yeah. Next story.
All right.
Quantum Break. Long time thought to be an Xbox One exclusive is actually going to be coming out on PC the very same day. That's
pretty cool.
Yeah, and this is the first game to take advantage of Microsoft's cross-buy, cross-save functionality with Windows.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't consider any Xbox game to be exclusive because any Xbox game is a Windows game. It's going to come out on Windows. But the fact that they're doing cross-buy now and they're doing like PC Xbox One cross-buy is I wish PlayStation could do that because there are games that I would like to buy for my console and have on my PC as well.
So stick with me on this one.
I'm going to try.
Okay. People who pre-order the digital version of Quantum Break for Xbox One will get a free copy of the Windows 10 edition. That's where the cross-buy comes into play.
Right.
The offer expires April 4th, so you're going to act fast.
Mm-hmm.
The game supports cross-save across Xbox One and PC, but there is no cross-play between the two.
Right.
The PC version is made in-house, so that should relax a few people. Because right now there's been a lot of missteps in the port department when it comes to PC games.
Right.
Here's where it gets a little crazy. if you pre-order the digital version, you're also going to get Remedy's last game, Alan Wake, and the 2 DLC add-ons, The Signal and The Rider. So you're getting, if you pre-order the digital version of this game, you're actually getting three games.
Which is really cool because there's no reason. Okay, so here's what I've been trying to rationalize since this story came out is if you want this game on PC, you clearly go do the pre-order for the digital Xbox One version that comes with Alan Wake. And then later, if you want to get an Xbox One, you've got digital copies of games already that you really didn't pay for because you just paid for the PC version of the game.
Yeah.
But do those codes expire if you don't enter them to a Microsoft account in a certain amount of time?
You know, I don't know. Everything I've ever seen expire on PlayStation or Xbox has been like DLC add-ons.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen a full copy of a game expire. I don't believe that it does.
Yeah.
Because you see stuff like Minecraft Vita, for example. When you buy that at the store, there's just a voucher inside.
Yeah.
And they would have to set that time and then keep up with it and make sure retailers yank it off the shelf. It just seems like it's not. I guess full game codes are probably always good.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's a pretty cool idea.
For those who pre-order Xbox One version at participating retailers will also gain access to Alan Wake's American Nightmare, a standalone expansion that was released for Xbox 360 2 years from the original game. And if you're thinking, what if I want all of those things? I'm going to tell you how to get it.
All right.
You need to pre-order the Alan Wake.
Jeez,
I've ruined
this up.
You need to pre-order.
Start the podcast over.
Yeah, you want to just hit the reset button on this?
Yeah, go for it.
If you pre-order the Quantum Break Xbox One bundle, it's going to come with a digital version of Quantum Break, a digital version of Alan Wake, both DLC packs, and the standalone, if you go from the select retailers, American Nightmare expansion, in addition to the Windows 10 voucher for the digital copy of Quantum Break.
Is that going to cost the same as a normal Xbox One?
You know, let me find out.
So I can scoop that up for $2.99. I'm on it.
Probably not. But now you've wanted an Xbox One.
Only because I love the controller. I've seen 2 games on that so far that I've actually needed to own, and one's Forza and one's Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Uh-huh.
There's no other reason for me to buy an Xbox One.
I mean, those are both good reasons.
Yeah, I love that controller.
They're a good controller.
It's better than the DualShock 4 for damn sure.
I don't know about that, but I'll tell you what, it's really good. The Elite controller.
The $150 one?
Yeah.
You like that, Rascal?
I put my hands on one. I would never pay for it, but god damn, it feels good. Real good. The system is $350.
Too much.
Yeah, $350. And if you pre-order at GameStop, you're going to get all that stuff and the American Nightmare that I was talking about.
Oh, great. I have to go to a GameStop. I'm out.
And I'll tell you, he's standing on the front of the cover of this American Nightmare holding a nail gun that's smoking and a flashlight. Mm-hmm. So that looks pretty good. But yeah, I mean, you may be able to do it from other places. I just pulled up GameStop to check the price.
Got it.
I knew they'd have it on the front. So you're getting your Call of Duties. You're getting your Quantum Breaks. You're not getting your Assassin's Creed this year, though.
Yeah, we already knew that, too.
We knew it, but they haven't confirmed it till right now.
Got it.
Ubisurf, different company, probably.
Good name. I think I'll grab that.
Ubisurf.com.
Yeah.
That's probably already gone.
Let's find out. As
suspected, Ubisoft will not release a mainline new Assassin's Creed game in 2016. The publisher confirmed in a letter they released, in a blog post, I should say. And it says, quote, "This year we are also stepping back and re-examining the Assassin's Creed franchise. As a result, we've decided that there will not be a new Assassin's Creed game in 2016, end quote. This is good.
That's Call of Duty needs to do this exact same thing.
Let it breathe.
Yeah, let it breathe. Release some content. Let everybody enjoy their $120 that they had to spend to be able to enjoy your game. Let them get 2 years out of it, and then actually develop something in your game and then release it.
Now,
put something new in it for the next one.
There are some speculation, some folks on the interweb who are saying this was a move that had to happen because the Assassin's Creed movie is coming out. Michael Fassbender's Assassin's Creed movie is due out in December, and they didn't want two stories butting up against each other that weren't related.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I hope that's not the case. I hope it's just that they want to let the franchise breathe and they want to develop and flesh out some ideas. Because Assassin's Creed Syndicate, very good.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Unity, very bad.
Let's be honest, though. The Fassbender movie is going to suck.
Probably.
Fassbender or not, an Assassin's Creed movie sounds terrible. And from what I've read, the quote from Michael Fassbender himself is, it's very, 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 very much like The Matrix.
Right.
He said it's almost exactly like The Matrix.
I've seen The Matrix.
Right, and I've played Assassin's Creed, and so I know that it's like The Matrix. I don't really care to watch that movie.
Right.
So
now I'll tell you what's troubling.
Okay.
There was an earnings call later on. I'm not going to go into too specific detail, but what they said basically, I'm paraphrasing here, this doesn't mean every Assassin's Creed will be on a 2-year cycle.
That's stupid.
So that makes me believe even more maybe they were just trying to get out of the way of the movie.
Yeah.
And that they're going right back to an annual, and they're not sticking with this biannual.
Yeah, they need to go to a biannual and develop their effing games.
But what I tell you is that by the time this game comes out, it should be pretty good. Given a big team a lot of time to work on it. I mean, I know they were using 2 studios and all that mess, but
yeah,
2 or 3, whatever they're doing. I mean, Ubisoft's huge.
Yeah, I don't.
Or huge.
I think the problem with Assassin's Creed is I just don't care anymore. That game had so much potential, and then when they kill off Desmond Miles, spoiler alert,
ooh,
that game is done because they spent so much time trying to make that game about him, and then they just got rid of him so that they could just keep going with the Matrix part, basically.
Assassin's Creed 2, special place in my heart, but while playing all the Assassin's Creed games, all I could ever think about is, why do we need the modern day part at all?
Well, my whole thought was always, why do we need the past part? Like, the first 2 games in my mind were leading up to be able to just play Assassin's Creed in the modern day.
That's called Watch Dogs.
Kind of, but I was thinking more like if Mirror's Edge had been like a third-person free runner, right? Instead, like actually good.
Uh-huh.
In my mind, you were building up to a game where Desmond Miles was like, you got to this kind of pinnacle where he was the character, and you're just going to play through the future and go from there. And then they never got there.
I mean, I could totally see something like Watch Dogs being what they thought Assassin's Creed in the modern day was going to be, but I don't want, like, if you just told me, hey, you get to go back in history and play an assassin during that time, and each assassin's different, but they were all part of this bigger thing, I would like that. I don't need the extra.
Yeah, you don't need the, what do they call that thing? The Animus?
Yeah, the Animus and the
Abstergo. You don't need that.
No,
to
because
make those,
that pulls me out of it.
Well, they've all but done away with that also.
Yeah.
They've all but done away with that part of the story. That was
there's still like the weird like glitches and stuff though, where you can tell you're in it.
Yeah, but that was the most compelling part of the game. To me, at the beginning, that was the part that made it interesting. And then you could tell that they said, we really don't have anything there. What we have is a really good assassin game, and now we just we've built this other part that we have to keep paying attention to. Just drop one or the other and make the game.
Yeah, like I just like the idea of playing through those time periods, and and not to get too sappy, but like for a school age kid who's learning about something to actually be able to rotate around in that world and free roam it. Yeah. Obviously it's not 1-to-1, but it's the closest thing that I didn't have that when I was super young. Yeah. My mind would have been blown. Blown hard.
Right.
If you told me about something in a textbook and then were able to actually hand me a controller and let me experience it for myself.
I mean,
so that's why I like the idea of what Assassin's Creed's doing, but I don't need the extra.
I liked that game because it got into the, like, hey, maybe Yeah, like religion is a way to control people, and people are really like, there's some other reason for it. Like I really liked that side of it, and then it just completely abandoned it.
Right.
I thought that was the coolest part of the first two games was this like, yeah, it's a really cool Assassin's game. Yeah, there's this really cool Matrix thing happening, and then like way down in the onion, there's this really cool story about like why does like the reason this story matters is because it's about this, how the church is controlling people. I thought that was great, and they never ever went back to it, and now it's garbage. It's garbage.
There's been a lot of Assassins too.
Yeah. What the one with what was it, Black Flag? Like that guy wasn't even part of the lineage.
So you had Altair.
Yeah.
Ezio.
Right.
Connor.
And then you got the guy that he killed an assassin, and now he's part of the assassins in part 4. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. You had Aveline from the Vita. You had Edward.
Yeah.
You're talking about.
Yeah, Edward Kenway.
Yeah. So it's a lot. Who was in and you had Evie and Jacob Farah in the new one.
Yeah.
Unity, I cannot remember.
Because it was so bad.
It was bad. Unity was I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't have
they
it.
Had they could still turn that ship around and make it something good, but it's going to take a lot of work.
Right. So we're not getting Assassin's Creed, but Ubisoft did confirm some games we are getting, if everything goes right, in the next fiscal year. That's going to be Watch Dogs 2, For Honor, South Park, The Fractured Butthole, Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I'll phrase that as if there was another. But that's
Right.
really it.
That is it. What's For Honor? What is that?
I don't know what For Honor is.
I'm going to check it out.
Oh, there was one more thing. It will also launch a, quote, new high-profile AAA brand with strong digital live services, end quote. So that was the other thing that they planned. They have a new IP coming. Sometime before April 2017, all these games are slated to release. Obviously, the big push coming from Watch Dogs 2.
For Honor is
a shooter?
Dynasty. No, it's Dynasty Warriors, but in medieval times.
All right.
It looks great. It looks like a lot of fun. Think Battlefront, right? You got like the ticket counters, and then there's a red team and a blue team, and everybody's like a knight, and so you're like sword fighting through a Battlefront type scenario, but you're like trying to like there's like a siege on a castle, and there's defenders and attackers. It actually looks pretty fun, but it's going to be one of those like. This game should cost $29 because all there is to it is the multiplayer.
Right.
It looks really good, though. It looks fantastic.
I think South Park will do pretty good.
Yeah, because Stick of Truth was really incredible.
Right, and now they've had some time without the weird THQ thing happening to actually just work on a game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting. The name's good.
Yeah, Fractured Butthole's real good.
Yeah. I think you may be hearing that and thinking, how are they calling it Butthole? But it's B-U-T space W-H-O-L-E.
Right, Fractured
Butthole. Get it? Fractured Butthole.
But also as one.
Not, you got a fractured butthole, bro.
Right.
You've fractured your butthole.
But that's what they mean.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's what makes it so good. So look forward to all those. Now we're going to talk about my favorite thing, charts. The cold hard facts. Best-selling physical games for January 2016. Brick and mortar stores. You ready?
Yeah, I guess. Fire away.
Now keep in mind the system order they are in is the system they sold best in. So when I announce the game, then I will then read the system that they sold best on.
This list is crazy.
I'm going reverse order. I'm starting with number 10.
This list is stupid.
Because I realize I usually start at number 1 and give away the suspense.
Right.
So number 10, FIFA 16, PS4, Xbox One, 360, PS3. Number 9, Lego Marvel Avengers, PS4, Xbox One, 360, Wii U, PS3, 3DS, Vita. Number 8, Madden NFL 16, PS4, Xbox One, 360, PS3. Number 7, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, Xbox One, PS4, PC. Number 6, Minecraft 360, Xbox One, PS4, PS3. Fallout 4, PS4, Xbox One, PC. Number 4, Star Wars Battlefront, Xbox One, PS4, PC. Number 3, NBA 2K16, PS4, Xbox One, 360, PS3. Number 2, Grand Theft Auto 5, crazy.
What the fuck?
PS4, Xbox One, 360, PS3, PC. And coming in at number 1, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Xbox One, PS4, 360, PS3, and PC.
Old Blops 3.
Now you're starting, there was a trend for a long time of PS4 being top on everything.
Yeah.
You're starting to see the Xbox One kind of come alive now in these charts.
Well, for certain games. For the games that you'd expect, for shooters.
Yeah, but I mean, Call of Duty was still, PlayStation had that for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
So
once again, this doesn't take into account bundle sales.
Bundles or digital.
PS4 having that Call of Duty 3 Black Ops 3 bundle.
Right, Call of Duty 3, right. Black Ops 3.
Yeah, so they're probably, I would say that PlayStation may be selling a butt-ass load of Black Ops 3, but it's probably to go along with the bundles because they're outselling consoles 2-1, you know?
Right.
So those numbers are skewed. They don't take into account households with 2 TVs or things like that.
I love 2 TVs.
Right. That's a line from Anchorman, by the way.
I'm going to give you 2 choices.
Okay.
One choice, we end the news right there. We move on.
Okay. All right.
Choice number 2, we talk about the digital sales for PlayStation.
My God, that's riveting. Man, that's your call. I could really be done with the news because nothing sounds more boring than talking about sales charts.
PS4, digital only. Number 10, Rainbow Six Siege. Here's why I want to go over these. I want to see how they fare compared to the actual brick and mortar.
Okay.
Number 10, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Keep in mind this is PlayStation only. Microsoft doesn't release their data. Right. Digital sales for January. Digital downloads. Let me rephrase that. Okay. So if you purchased that and it was included in something, you downloaded it would still count. These are downloads, not sales. Far Cry 4. Number 8, The Witness. Number 7, Dragon Age Inquisition. I believe it's part of the sale. Number 6, Infamous Second Son was part of the sale they had. Number 5, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. Number 4.
Part of the sale.
What?
Tomb Raider was part of the sale, so was Far Cry 4.
Yeah. I didn't see Tomb Raider, but I probably skipped over. Number 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Number 3, Grand Theft Auto 5. Number 2, Rocket League. Number 1, Minecraft PlayStation 4 Edition.
The best digital game ever.
Minecraft?
Yeah.
Probably so.
It'll be number 1 forever because
why wouldn't it be? It's also number 1 on PS3 and number 3 on Vita. I'm not going to read through the rest.
Yeah, I'm looking for like odd ones. Like the add-ons list is pretty cool.
You want to do the add-on list?
Yeah, I guess. So number 10, Mortal Kombat X has the Goro download. Number 9 is Supersonic Fury for Rocket League. Number 8 is the Season Pass for Battlefront. Number 7 is the Arkham Knight Seasons of Infamy Most Wanted expansion, which I think was free with the Season Pass, so I don't know if that counts towards the same downloads or not.
Probably, because I think that's... I'm not sure with add-ons. I don't know how it works.
Because my Batman add-ons automatically download, but I've never played them.
Right.
Rocket League, the DeLorean Back to the Future car pack, Rocket League's Chaos Run DLC pack. Taken King is number 4. Bloodborne: The Old Hunters is number 3. And then number 2 is really weird for PS4 add-ons. The Elder Scrolls Online, the Tamriel Unlimited Plus package is number 2, and then the Blops 3 Season Pass, which was the Season Pass included with the console bundle?
I don't think so. I think it just came with like 3 months of PlayStation Plus or something like that. I don't really know, though. It could have.
Whatever the case. I don't know.
Hard to say.
Pretty cool.
That's your news for Valentine's Day. So you saw the theme, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it would come through.
No, yeah, you're good. Right there.
You don't want to force it, but you want it to come through. If you felt the love from that, or you have questions, comments, or concerns, write in at podcast@gamestitch.com. If you're too lazy for that, hit us up on Twitter at game_stitch using the hashtag GSPQ. Means Game Stitch Podcast Questions.
Yeah.
GSPQ. You got it?
Yeah, no, I invented the hashtag.
So you got it then?
Yeah.
You understand it?
All right, I do all the Twitter stuff. I got it. I'm right there.
You understand it, though?
No, I get it. Now, when people are hearing this, they're going to be 2 days removed. But if you go back to our Valentine's Day post on Twitter, it's a good one. It says, Happy Valentine's Day, wear a condom.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one.
It's not wrong either.
No, it is.
You're going to want to do that.
Yeah.
That's how you don't catch the diseases.
Yeah. And then it's hashtag VD for Valentine's Day.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what else would that stand for?
Right.
I only think of Valentine's when I hear that.
Right.
Now, we've got some reader mail, listener, viewer mail.
Okay.
But let me tell you what's happening. I can't get my phone to pull it up.
All right. Well, take your time.
I mean, I am. It's concerning, though.
Right. Is it like, did your phone freeze?
So it's searching for the email, but it's just searching.
Oh, just
let me just try to scroll back and find it that way.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, I know roughly when I got it. All right, I've got it here.
Okay.
So our first piece of reader mail, and only actually, so our first and last.
God dang it! I got excited. I thought we had two.
Yeah, that's what I did. I did that wrong. It comes from Elliot. So we've got a question here, but we got a little leading up to the question. So, hey guys, it's me, Elliot. I have a question this week. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't want to have kids. I think it's nice when friends do, but the idea of having kids myself does not appeal. A couple of years ago, I played Heavy Rain. Early in the game, you control a father. You play with your son, fix him a meal, watch him fall asleep, and carry him to bed. Doing these little actions made me feel something that I had never felt before. Something that books and film could not do. My question is there ever been a game that caught you off guard and triggered an emotion that you weren't expecting? Journey is another game that has done that for me. Keep up the good work. P.S. Thank you for talking about 3/4 Home on the podcast. I got it when it was on sale, and it made me call my mom and siblings the very next day.
Nice.
So, what's a game that's triggered an emotion, and what emotion did that trigger for you?
Well, I've got a couple, and we talked about this the other day, so I've been trying to prepare for an answer.
Uh-huh.
The one that I always mention when somebody asks something like this is Thomas Was Alone. It just kind of hit the right, I don't know, like it hit the right notes of what high school and middle school were like for me, like where you don't feel like you have any common ground with people, and then you slowly like start to find your best friends. You slowly start to find those people that that you fit in with for whatever reason. And in the game it's because of the game mechanics, but in real life it's because of whatever. So it got that thing for me. Journey's a really good one. Metal Gear is always going to be one of those that I don't know if emotion's the right word, but that game made me like self-aware and world-aware and politically aware, and like that game, that's one of those games that just kind of like opened me up a little bit more to like more than what was going on in my house and at my school. Like it just kind of makes you kind of dive inside and then look outside. Like it puts the world in perspective. It's a great game. But those are the three that I always really think about that like other than being great games, they kind of changed something in me when I played them.
So I'm a little bit broken inside. It's harder to get emotion out of me.
Right.
I don't get it when I watch movies. I'm the kind of guy that'll queue up a comedy special on Netflix and enjoy the entire thing and never laugh.
Right, which is weird.
That's just how I am, though. So it's a little harder for me to find these type games. Obviously, there's something special going on in Unravel, whereas I don't know if it's getting emotion out of me, but it is making me think about some of the memories in my past and some of the things that I've done, because the game is telling you the story through pictures, and those pictures then remind me of things that I've done or things in my life, which is it's kind of there. But the one I guess that I could really say was something special to me is the first Little Big Planet. It didn't make me cry. It didn't make me sad. It gave me like joy that I had not felt since a child, like almost giddy, like the excitement, like of building something and like little boy wonderment.
Like the fun of taking all these toys that don't go together and making something fun out of them.
Yeah, Little Big Planet was like the first time your parents bought you a Lego set.
Yeah.
Like the very first time that you put Legos together. Like that's what it felt like. Like I can do anything. I could fly, I could be president, I could drive a fire truck. All those things came rushing back because of how that game made me feel. Like it was just special because like I was just wide-eyed, and I played that game with my dad for hours, and we just built and created, and like, hey, let's figure out how to do this. Let's spend 4 hours trying to do something that we're not even going to use on a level because you can do that.
Right.
And so that would be the game that's probably got the most emotion out of me, and it's not... I think a lot of times when people say emotion in games, they mean sadness. That seems to be... You always hear that thing people say, well, if a game can make you cry, then you know that they fucking made it, or whatever bullshit people say.
Yeah.
But I think games probably come closer to getting different emotions. You probably get joy and happiness and stuff like that out of most games.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you get a game like Last of Us, right? You get sad right at the beginning. You get a lot of hope out of that game. Then you get this devastated feeling of like, oh shit, the world sucks. And you play a game like I don't know. I guess sometimes to me, like, emotion doesn't always have to be like the 4 basic ones.
Right.
You can get a little bit deeper than that. So like, I don't know. I think Volume is a really, really cool game that kind of elicits this. I don't like this. Like I can do better in the world kind of a feeling. Like you get that kind of, you come away from that game feeling like, man, I could make a difference if I wanted to like get out of my pajamas today.
So the other game you talked about was Thomas Alone. Both Thomas Alone and Volume, Mike Bithell joints.
Yep.
Do you think that's the goal when he's creating a game? Has he tapped into something for you specifically?
I think Mike Bithell, if you've played either of those two games, what's really apparent is his games are simple in mechanics. So the gameplay is good in its simplicity. It doesn't have to be overly complex, but they're fun to enjoy. But the story, I think he's more of a storyteller. I think that's kind of his. That's probably his biggest contribution to gaming.
I just read
not that he's designing bad games. His games are flawless, but his storytelling is really good. He would be a huge asset in a larger team, or as like a creative director on a game. He to be able to get those general ideas, that awesome storytelling, and then to go from there.
I just finished Thomas Was Alone recently, couple weeks ago.
That game. Man,
it's one of those that like whenever I would jump on my Vita, I would play like one level and then go to bed.
Dude, that game, like when you get every emotion in that game. Like you feel really lonely and like sad for Thomas, but then Chris comes along and you're like, hey man, Chris is a dick, but at least Thomas has somebody.
Right.
And then John shows up and you're like, man, I have friends just like that. You know somebody that they're that they're such an outcast, but they fit in because everybody else is. Like, oh man, he's freakishly tall. He jumps really high, and it pisses Thomas off. and it really pisses Chris off. But like that's what makes them get along, you know.
Right.
I don't know. I love that game.
Yeah, that game was really good, really fun.
It's just squares, man.
Yeah, but it's so much more though.
Yeah,
it is, but it is. There's a lot more to it, and you know, the gameplay again. It's kind of like I talked about with Unravel. It's not blowing anyone's mind, but it doesn't need to because there's more there.
That story is on the same level of like Journey or like Last of Us, right? You take an incredible story like that. Thomas Was Alone is on that level with story, and on gameplay, it's like on the same level as Tetris. Like it's a simple and addictive, and that's all it has to be. And then the story just head and shoulders above everything else.
Head and shoulders. I like Head and Shoulders.
Good deodorant, or not
deodorant. Oh, no, you're using it wrong.
Shampoo, conditioner.
You're using it wrong.
Right.
Or maybe you're using it right. I don't know.
I mean, I guess you could use it that way, right?
You use it any way you want.
Right.
So, thanks for the question, Elliot. If you have a question, remember, write in podcastgamestitch.com or hit us up on Twitter at @game_stitch using the hashtag GSPQ. If you want to,
somebody use the effing hashtag.
Right. Now, don't start yelling at them. They don't like that.
Nobody ever uses the hashtag.
They don't like to be yelled at. If you want to follow me on social media, I am at Podcast Ryan on Twitter. Matt is at Podcast Matt. Dan is at Tolhurst2002. So be sure to follow us on there. As a group, we are at @game_stitch. And use the hashtag. Yeah. Hashtag use the hashtag. We'll start that campaign to get people using the hashtag.
Right. That's worthless. But we'll do it anyway.
Now, would you be upset if that got more love than the GSPQ?
Than the hashtag? Yeah. I don't care. I just want... trying to get away from email and into Twitter. Now, I understand, like, for a question like Elliot, you got to send in the...
Right, 140 characters.
Yeah, you got to send in the email. But if somebody's like, hey, what's your favorite platformer?
Some people like on Twitter. Electronic mail.
Right, but, I mean, like, maybe it's something you don't necessarily want us to address on the podcast. You just want a quick answer on Twitter. We can do that, and then we'll bring it up on the podcast at the end of the week, too.
Right. Unless you don't want us to. In which case you put hashtag don't use on the podcast.
Hashtag NDA.
Wow.
And we'll know.
But maybe just you could just, send us electronic mail and no one has to know that you even said it. Right. It's like real mail, but through the internet. At some point that was a sales pitch people had to make.
Yeah. And somebody was like, I just don't get it, man.
Yes, yeah. Somebody's like, it's fucking nonsense. No one's going to want to do this. People like going to the mailbox and getting a letter.
Right. There's something about, like, crumpling the paper in your hands. Yeah. Like, I don't understand.
This electronic mail thing isn't going to catch on. So, use the effing hashtag, as you put it. So, we end each and every show with a segment we call One Final Thing with Uncle Dan. That's not true. Let's back up. Why'd you let me do that?
I don't know. I let you run.
I skipped over our newest segment.
Yeah.
Gone but not forgotten. Where we reach back into our gaming past. We dust off a title that we love, that we think you should play, or at the very least check out. And,
yeah.
And this week, you're going to go.
It's my turn.
It's your turn.
And I'm gonna get more modern than you guys have been with the NES. There's a game series called Resident Evil that's complete and utter shit right now.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's garbage. You probably don't want to hear about it. But if you go back in time to the mid '90s, when Resident Evil 1 came out, it's one of the greatest survival horror games of all time. You never think to pop it in your system, but pop it in the system one night when it's cold and dark, man. Resident Evil holds up. The dialogue is still campy and garbage. It still plays like a B-style horror movie. It's got great puzzles. It's scary and moody and weird and everything that it should be. And I wish the series was still like that because I loved it so much. That's it. That's the game.
So Resident Evil, developed, published by...
PS1.
Yeah, PS1. Developed, published by Capcom, and debuted in 1996. That's what you're going with.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Gone but not forgotten. Check it out, guys. And that's actually one that's playable, like, lots of other places. I think
Yeah.
you can get on the PSN now. I'm pretty sure it's on DS.
Just go play that and remember how good Resident Evil was before Part 4 came along and massacred
The game
it.
was fucking scary.
Resident Evil 4 was the downfall of that series.
So, spoiler alert. You remember when the dog jumps through the window?
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
You shit your pants every time.
Pants full of shit.
Dude, and like on your second playthrough, because you've seen it before, you're walking backwards down the hall. You're like, I'm going to get this fucker this time. And you still jump when he comes through the window.
Yeah, dude, it's scary. Scary stuff. So that's Gone for Not But Not Forgotten. If you want to suggest your Gone But Not Forgotten title, use the effing hashtag or send us an email.
Right. What's the hashtag?
We don't have one.
GBNF.
That's too much. Just tweet at us and
It's
say
4 letters.
Just tweet
Gone But
at
Not
us and
Forgotten.
say this bitch is gone but not forgotten, and then put a picture of the game.
Hashtag GBNF.
Hashtag Gone but not forgotten. Write the whole thing out.
This takes up all your thing.
But you're just sending a picture. It's fun.
All
We
right.
end each and every episode with a segment we like to call One Final Thing with Uncle Dan. Uncle Dan not here.
All right.
Not-
You got something?
Sorta.
Okay.
Here's what I'm going to do. So we were playing Rocket League the other night, as we do.
Right.
Dan had what I'm going to call a mini meltdown / tantrum. So what I'm going to offer up is a piece of advice when playing Rocket League, but I'm going to do something different this week. I'm going to tweet it out. Because you got to see it. So I'm
Right.
not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you if you want to know, head over to our Twitter at @game_stitch. Follow us on there, and you will see it. I will put it up first thing tomorrow morning, same time as the podcast. By that, I mean I'll probably cheat and put it up tonight.
Right.
But you'll see Dan's advice when playing Rocket League with friends. That's going to be this week's One Final Thing. You have anything before we go? Parting words.
For Honor looks really good.
Okay.
I sent you a link. Check it out. And I guess that's it. I guess yeah.
Happy
that's it.
V-Day.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. We're taking the dog to a Greyhound meet and greet. So that's where my day's going. Can't wait.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you have your phone on you?
Yeah, I saw it.
How do you feel about the picture I just sent out?
It's really good. It's really good. Tweet that out.
It's too disturbing.
I'll tweet it out. Don't worry.
I don't know if you should.
Yeah, I got it.
But it looks good.
Yeah, it's creepy. What made me look was I saw Dan say, "I wish I were blind," and I thought, "What the hell would make anybody say that?"
But then you saw it and you're like, okay.
No, it's pretty good.
Okay, yeah. I get it. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to rate us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, however you listen, whatever podcast service you're on. And we'll be back next week, same time, same place.
Yeah, thanks.
Good night.